All right, Wrestle Nation, let's get into it. Obviously, we got the kickoff show on right now for Night of Champions, which I'm currently not watching. And then we got the main show starting in about 7 minutes. And then tomorrow we got another PLE, which is going to be the WWE NXT Great American Bash. So the show tomorrow will be the WWE. Tomorrow's show is an NXT show, which is going to be the NXT Great American Bash. So let's get in that show tomorrow. We got 7 matches on the card, 2 solo matches, and then there's 5 championship matches. So let's get into that. First solo matchup on the card, we got Shiloh Hill and Tristan Angels. Don't know much about Tristan. Love Shiloh. I don't think he's ever going to be a world champion or anything. I don't see him being in WWE for like several years. I think he's one of them guys that might be here for a couple years and be let go in cuts and end up in TNA or whatever, wherever else. But yeah, I'm going to go with Tristan Angels to win this one. So going with Tristan Angels to beat Shiloh Hill. In our second solo match on the card, obviously, this is what I call a grudge match. We got former Dark State member Saquon Sugars taking on Dion Lennox. As you know, Dark State kicked Saquon Sugars out. They've been going back and forth. Saquon's attacked him a few times from behind. I think Dion Lennox has a lot of potential. I think Dion Lennox is going to win this. So going with Dion Lennox to beat Saquon Sugars. Now we move into our 5 championship matches on the card. And our third matchup on the card. So yeah, going with Dion Lennox to win that second match. And then our third matchup on the card, and our first championship matchup is going to be the Speed Championship. As you know, the Speed Championship used to have a show on that. The Speed Championship used to be defended on a show called Speed, which was on Twitter or X. Obviously, that show got canceled. It wasn't very well received. They decided to keep this. WWE decided to keep the men's and women's speed championships and put them on NXT. If you don't know anything about it, it's a 3-minute match. You got 3 minutes to win the match. Otherwise, if nobody wins, it's a draw basically. So we got your current women's speed champion, Ren Sinclair. We got your current women's speed champion, Ren Sinclair, taking on Ariana Grace. Now I don't care for Ariana Grace whatsoever. I do like Ren Sinclair. As much as I want Ren to win, because Ariana's got the faction, the distractions that are going to happen, I'm going to go with Ariana Grace to beat Ren Sinclair and become the new women's speed champion. So go with Ariana Grace to win and become the new women's speed champion. Now we move in. So yeah, going with Ariana Grace. In our fourth matchup on the card, and our second championship match, we got for the women's North American title, your current women's North American champion Zarya taking on former women's North American champion, probably my favorite on the NXT card of women, Tatum Paxley. Obviously, I've heard Tatum's going to the main card, so I think this is Tatum's swan song for NXT before she goes to the main card. I want to see Zarya have a pretty dominant long run with that title because they haven't used Zarya right. They paired her with Sol and didn't really do nothing with her, and I think Zarya could be a very dominant force. But yeah, we're going to go with Zarya to beat Tatum and retain the women's North American title. So going with Zarya. Now we move into our 5th match of the night, which is going to be your 3rd championship match. And that is going to be your men's North American title with your current men's North American champion, Miles Bourne, taking on Tavian Heights. Like both guys here, won't be disappointed with the outcome either way here. So yeah, we're gonna go with Miles Bourne to beat Tavian Heights and retain the men's North American title. So going with Miles Bourne here. And then our 6th matchup on the night, and our 6th matchup of the night, and our 4th championship match on this card will be for the women's NXT championship, which is your current women's which is your current women's NXT champion, Lola Vice, taking on the challenge of Kendall Gray. Love both these women. Now, this is a match that no matter what happens, I will not be disappointed in the outcome of the winner unless there's shenanigans. But, which I don't think there will be because they're both kind of like the face here. They're not really heels. As you know, Kendall was on Evolve. She was a women's Evolve champion. She came to NXT originally, did a couple matches there, and then they called her up to do the Iron Women's Challenge, which she went insane in that match. Like, she was very awesome in the match. She was the star of that match for the women, for the Iron Women's Challenge there back a few months ago. And then NXT just called her up and kept her on the NXT show. Initially, she got called up to do a couple matches, and she was still just currently part of Evolve. Then she got called up. She relinquished the Evolve title, and she's been on NXT ever since. I love both of these women. Lola Vice is obviously one of my favorites on the whole WWE card, along with Kendall and Tatum. This is hard because I do think Lola needs to be on the main card. I think it's time for her to go up. But I'm going to go with Lola Vice to beat Kendall Gray in what should be the match of the night, in my opinion. And I'm going with Lola Vice to retain here. And then we move into the seventh and final match on the Great American Bash card, and this should be the main event. And this is your fifth. This will be your fifth and final championship match on the card as well. We got your current champion, Tony D'Angelo. I've always been pretty much a big fan of his. Taking on the challenge of Nurako. If you don't know anything about Nurako, he was formerly called Evil in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He had a pretty big faction over there. He was pretty dominant over there. Won a few championships over there. As much as I hate to do this, because I have heard Tony D is going to the main card as well. I've been hearing it for a lot better. Even while he was out for several months, I heard that when he came back, he wasn't going to be on NXT very long before he goes up. So, as much as I hate to do this, because I look at this as a Shinsuke thing, Shinsuke, when he got his first championship opportunity, he won the NXT championship. So I'm going to say the same things happen here. I'm going to go with Nuraku to beat Tony D'Angelo and become the new men's NXT champion. So yeah, go with Nuraku to win and win the NXT men's championship. There you have it. I hope you all enjoy the show. I am going to start trying to get caught up this week sometime on PLEs, so hopefully in the next couple weeks I'll be caught up before SummerSlam, because that I will not miss. Yeah, but there you have it. Enjoy the show tomorrow, guys, and if you're watching Night of Champions, enjoy the show today. Peace out, guys. I got to go let a dog out.